Toronto is home to almost 100 shopping malls, most built in the decades of booming economic growth following World War II. While new developments have ceased in recent times, our existing capitalist meccas continue to play significant roles in the commercial vitality of our city and in the daily lives of its citizens. These structures are epic in scale. The average Toronto mall houses 500,000 square feet of floor space available for lease. A mall with 400,000 square feet of leasable area and 2 anchor tenants, such as department or grocery stores, is considered a regional mall. Let's examine a moderate performer and the surrounding areas it serves. First, some background on the history and culture of malls in Toronto. We will then explore a case study for densification, Kowloon Walled City. Finally, we will put forth a 6-part action plan for improved, diversified mall performance, affecting rejuvenation in both the community and the consumer experience. Canada's largest city is expected to grow by 15% in the next 30 years, fueled by an increase in net births. It is also experiencing a growing income disparity, with minimum wage failing to meet inflation and the cost of living on the rise. How do we build low-cost, high-quality housing? The answer lies in prefabrication. A mall is an expression of urbanism through the lens of capitalism. Limitless sprawl and the low cost of transportation made the mall ideal in its heyday. Here, consumers could conveniently access products and services, physical goods, fast food, entertainment, parking, in a unified, pleasant environment. A mall's performance was measured in gross revenue dollars per square foot of leasable area. Performance was determined by a mall's commercial productivity alone. Those days are now over. With climate change a pressing reality, we are faced with increased need to densify our urban communities. Accommodating human activity in progressively efficient, sustainable, and multi-purpose models is an essential part of new urban planning. How can we adapt the mall, that maxim of capital realization, to fit these needs? For this, we turn to the densest urban space the world has ever known, Kowloon Walled City.
Here it comes, man. The Walled City, not a place for outsiders. You are in Hong Kong, but you are about to cross an invisible border into mainland China. Once you step out of the sunlight into the narrow corridors, it's time to protect your nuts, guys.
Uncontrolled by zoning law and devoid of planning, Kowloon Walled City provides an illuminating narrative for urban densification. A former Chinese military fort islanded within British-controlled Hong Kong, it occupied half the footprint of the average regional mall in Canada. Post-war squatters in the 1940s were the first occupants of the walled city, and after a brief and unsuccessful British effort to evict them, the area went largely undisturbed by government and police. Occupants were left to build dwellings at will, resulting in a city block of 14-story structures crammed shoulder to shoulder with each other. Within this space lived 35,000 people. The entire population of Texas would have to migrate to Manhattan for that island's density to match Kowloon Walled City. Because dwellings were so concentrated, quality of life across units was virtually uniform. Only those with perimeter and roof access possessed a rare and desirable amenity, exposure to natural light. Despite its lawless state, Kowloon Walled City was incredibly efficient. Its inexpensive housing in proximity to Hong Kong enabled growth of a cheap labor force. Its maze of capillary-like laneways necessitated transit by foot or bicycle. Amenities, from fishmongers to fruit stands, medical offices to machine shops, were only ever a few steps away. Indeed, Kowloon Walled City was a paragon of ecologically sustainable human settlement. Kowloon Walled City elucidates several low-cost strategies for smart densification that will transform our mall into a high-performing, multi-purpose urban fixture. Step 1. Remove underperforming shops. Some shops occupy undesirable low-traffic locations. They will be removed to make way for more productive and useful amenities. Step 2. Retrofit existing structure. Both roof and columns will be modified to increase load-bearing capacity. Step 3. Fill space freed by shop removal with slopes of earth. These will become earth ramps, access points to the mall's roof. Step 4. Introduce pedestrian bridges. Connecting the mall roof with an exit point from the complex, they will allow pedestrians to bypass the parking lot. A final bridge will connect them with a park on the east side of the adjacent transit route. Step 5. Increase density. Residences and shops will be added to the roof perimeter. Shops will be concentrated near service elevators, commercial halls, and shipping and receiving bays. Residences will overlook the more pleasant parts of the mall and surrounding areas. It will extend downward into perimeter space presently occupied by commercial tenants. An office building will rise above the southern anchor store. Step 6. Improve circulation and walkability. Existing stairwells and elevators will be extended. An expansive green roof and network of pathways will be installed on the mall's roof. By concentrating housing, employment, and amenities on the diversified site of a former moderate performance mall, we are reducing reliance on automobiles, affecting a lower carbon footprint for the development. As in Kowloon Walled City, commercial, community, and green spaces will be available at users' fingertips.